A lot's happening in the country, a lot's going on, and trust me, I can't seem to make sense of all of this at this point in time. Rumor has it that the president has extended to April 10, the deadline. Please disregard that rumor until confirmed. I'm not so sure where that came from, but I've seen the stories on social media and on some blogs as well. I can't confirm that, so please don't call to ask me. So this is a disclaimer. Don't call to ask me about that. I'm not sure if the president has truly extended, to April 10, 2023. Well, I'm being joined tonight on the conversation just to help me make sense of what's happening. I have Jimmy in the studio. Good evening, Jimmy, and welcome to the show.
Yes, good evening, Bob. It's good to be here, just to look at what is actually, happening in the country. Well, first off, belated Valentine to everyone out there. Hope you guys had fun. This situation of no money and all of that, hopefully, yes, it would gradually, allow us, just to return back to our normal lives. Let's not forget that in less than how many days from today, we'll be going to the polls to actually elect our new leader in the country. Talk about the presidential elections that will be coming up next week, Saturday, and also the National Assembly elections, both for the House of Representatives and the Senate. And yes, it's a clarion call, and it's a civil duty to ensure that we appeal to you voters that you should go out on Saturday to cast your votes. Not just only to cast your votes, but to vote your conscience. Don't allow anyone to persuade you to vote someone you never intended to vote, and ensure that you keep your PVC served, because that's the only passcode and access to that particular election. So it's good to be back here on the show, and we'll be talking about the Naira extensively, and let's see what would actually happen subsequently as the days goes by.
Jimmy, it's actually the only issue about now Nigerians are concerned with.
Yeah, true.
I think at some point we've lost focus on the election. Nigerians are not talking about elections so much. Now it's about how to survive, how to get Naira. And then so many people don't even mind how much they pay to get this money. They just want to have money in their hand. It's a national conversation right now.
Yeah, true.
Governors have condemned the policy. Lawmakers have condemned the policy. Experts in that industry have condemned the policy. And it seems it is just the president and the CBN governor and a few other Nigerians that are actually still standing strong and supporting this particular policy. Nigerians are protesting right now. You've seen the vandalisms in Edo State, in Delta State. This is not what we expected.
Your
exactly.
Yes,
This is not what we thought would happen at this point in time. Just about 10 days to elections and this is happening. What do you think?
Well, for me, it's quite pathetic, because if you look at the situation, the current situation right now is not about the new notes. That's the problem. The problem right now is that Nigerians do not have access, to these monies. That's the biggest problem. And you know that there's a whole lot of confusion, after the Supreme Court had actually come out, to put this particular policy on hold till about today. And just about today, the Supreme Court has actually come out to say that the old 200, 500, and 1,000 notes in Nigeria is still a legal tender. So until, we have another, date fixed for this particular ruling, yes, according to the Supreme Court, which is the apex court of the land, yes, says that those monies are legal tenders. Prior to the Supreme Court ruling this morning, the federal government had come out to say that they have to wait for the decision of the apex court for them to also come up with their own, stand. But the question is, whatever the Supreme Court would come out with is actually the law. It's actually the judgment, and should be used as a working document for this country. And now that the Supreme Court has said that the old 200, 500, and 1,000 naira note is a legal tender, I don't know what would happen. Already today, while the Supreme Court has actually extended the hearing, is that 7 other, I think about 3 or 4 other states have actually joined suit
I think
you
there are
know,
about 7 altogether.
yeah,
Right
yes,
now.
and Cross
Including
River,
yes.
Cross River is part of those states who have actually, joined to actually compel.
And Nasir El-Rufai and the Bello
Yes,
they are in the court today.
yes, to compel the
Now,
CBN.
let me quickly jump in there now.
Yeah.
My concern tonight is simply on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And of course, its decision they took today.
Yeah.
Nigerians have thought that by the end of today, would understand where we're going to from here.
Yeah.
So many Nigerians, had put their hopes on the Supreme Court, hoping that maybe the judgment will be in the favor of the millions of Nigerians who are suffering right now.
Yeah.
Apparently, it didn't go that way. The judgment has been adjourned, dashing the hopes of Nigerians again. Now, what do you think are the implications of this adjournment, one, on Nigerians? And do you also suspect, something going on with the Supreme Court?
Well, I don't think so, because first off, the only confusion we are having right now, if you look at it critically, that suit that actually, barred, federal government from implementing the February 10 deadline did not actually join the CBN. And according to the report, CBN has the legality, and they're actually the only people, entrusted with this particular decision. And now that, after that particular ruling, the AGF came out to say that, they would actually abide by the Supreme Court. But the silence of the CBN and the federal government after the statement had caused a whole lot of confusion.
Especially after having closed door meetings.
Yes. Just about yesterday, the CBN came out to say that the February 10th deadline still subsists. And, there's a lot of confusion. Now,
that's what I'm saying. So the ethics court did not help the matter.
Yes, they did not. And now they're saying that you have to go to the CBN to deposit your old notes.
It's a long process.
And for you to even do that, you need to fill a form online. If you can't fill a form online, you need to go to the CBN and you'll be given a form, and it will take 4 weeks.
I saw bank queues in Abuja today.
4 weeks for that money to be credited to your account. The question is, when the CBN governor went to the National Assembly, what did he, actually inform the National Assembly members? He said after the deadline, you can still walk up to the bank and deposit your money. So there is a whole lot of confusion, and there's a whole lot of, misinformation between...
The apex courts would have been in the best place to set the record straight today, but
they have done that.
No, they haven't.
No,
they have adjourned the case.
Yes,
so
but
there's no substantial ruling.
No,
on the case.
They have adjourned the case, and also stating that the 200, 500, 1,000 naira is a legal tender in Nigeria.
I agree, but then again, I've always wanted to hear the CBN talk about that. Like I said the other time, until the CBN speaks or takes a position on the old 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes, a lot of Nigerians will not want to use those anymore. Remember that?
Yeah.
You can't even pay with old notes anymore. You can't even buy with old notes right now. It's crazy. Regardless of the apex court's injunction today that the old notes should still subsist or exist rather side by side with new notes.
Yeah.
Will Nigerians understand that this is the apex court that has spoken? Will Nigerians have the boldness to approach any supermarket, any place to buy or do business with the old note? And will those in charge collect the old notes? That's a problem because the CBN has not spoken. So it's a case of Nigerians now, waiting for the CBN over the apex bank. Sorry, over the apex court.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
No, well, I think yes, you're right. But again, we have seen state governors, trying to ensure that the states actually, accepts old notes. That's it. The state accepts old notes because just this evening, the Lagos State Governor, talking about Olu, has actually come out to say that the old note are still legal tenders in Lagos State. So you could see that state governments have actually, taken the bold step to actually, alleviate the suffering because, you're asked to go and pay in your old notes, but you can't get monies to do anything.
It's a crazy situation for Nigeria. The CBN is not helping us. The apex court isn't helping us.
And the federal government itself.
So everyone is just in the mix. And we hope that elections come and go. We have more coming up tonight on the show. The speaker has accused or is saying that the whole Naira swap policy is to ensure that Tinubu does not emerge as the next president of Nigeria. What are your thoughts on all of that? Stay with me after this commercial break. I'm back. Don't go away.
How are you doing today?
You know, they didn't pop up now.
Hip hop.
Yeah, you pop up, yeah? Pop up now.
You're not supposed to play today.
You pop up now, so how would I know?
Play today.
That's not my fault, baby.
You're supposed to play today.
You don't cut down? Cut down, like, you're not supposed to.
Today now waiting.
When is it?
Okay. Okay, supposed to play. Supposed to play. Thank God. Today you're living like Friday.
Welcome back, everybody. 593.1 FM Calabar, the People's Radio, the number one talk music and news radio. My name is Bob the Fresh Talker, originally called Fidelis Obana. This is Hardlines on your radio, and of course, I have Jimmy in the studio. We're trying to make sense of the current happenings in the country, narrow swapping, and all of that. Let's begin our conversation tonight with the violence in Edo State, in Delta State, and Oyo State. Now, I'm actually bleeding in my heart right now that, you know, it gets to a point where the youth can no longer accept or take what's happening. I saw a video and the woman was crying in the video. She was on the floor crying, and she said she's hungry, she's tired, she doesn't have money. And I can understand when you are pushed to the wall, the only choice you have is to try to push back because you cannot break through the wall. And that's where most of these persons are at this point. But the question is, are they directing their anger to the right places? I mean, the banks, for instance. Why destroy banks? Why destroy, public property? Because you feel that they are the ones keeping the money. Let's have your reactions on that.
Yeah, I think for me it is a very condemnable act, if you ask me, because the properties are being destroyed. Already 4 persons have been confirmed dead in this protests that have rocked 4 various states in Nigeria. And you could see that the anger and the frustration that the youths or the persons involved are actually, showcasing does not go down well with the laws of the land. Yes, if you wanted to have a protest, it should be peaceful. You should have security agencies, protecting, but again, I think it's high time everyone in Nigeria would rise up to speak, because what is actually happening is actually having a serious toll on the ordinary citizens, people in the villages. How do they cope? We don't even have banks there. So how would they be able to quickly, return their monies and actually get others, to purchase, whatever commodities they want. We saw videos. You've talked about the woman. What about the other man that was crying profusely inside the banking hall because he needed money to get drugs? And what's come to it that most of these hospitals have vehemently refused transfer.
Yeah, exactly.
Transfer. So how do you explain? How do you explain that you can even walk into the banking hall, and the least money or the highest money they can give you, paraventure is 5,000, 10,000. You cannot even eat in an eatery. 5,000 cannot give you a dinner in an eatery. So for crying out loud, the sufferings is actually unbearable on Nigerians. But again, we call on all Nigerians to remain calm, and hopefully our leaders, starting from our states, should be able to rise up to the occasion, because these things directly is in your domain. They should be able. I'm happy that some of the state government have actually joined suit. About 2 have actually joined the suit as defendants. But again, for crying out loud, it should not get to a point where we start destroying public properties. Let's not forget that these banks are actually, some of them are privately owned, and by the time you keep destroying most of these public properties, the staff there would be sacked. So many bad things would be happening, and we can't afford as a nation to go through this second phase, what we saw at the NSAS protests.
Well, I've seen footages, and in those footages I saw young people wielding different, weapons, including clubs, machetes, and other dangerous weapons in 3 states respectively: Edo, Delta, and Oyo State.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that this may...
It's gradually heating up. Yes, it's gradually heating up.
I take my mind back to October 2020 when the NSAS thing started.
Yeah.
It started from a particular state and then it spread across the country like wildfire. And I'm afraid this may happen again if something is not done urgently to stop these guys from going further with their havoc.
Yeah, definitely. It started all through last week, and you could see that just early as 6 a.m. go to various banking halls. You see crowds, and you can't even control those crowds. And the sad thing is that you don't even know who is there with you. Something happened, Bob, in Uyo last on Sunday. I was actually in the banking hall in Uyo, and people were actually waiting. We waited for like almost 6 hours, and someone eventually withdrew his money, and while walking out, some boys accosted him.
Oh, let me give you a story. That happened
him
in Calabar too. It happened in Calabar.
The luck he had was that we had some army personnel, who came to also withdraw, and they observed closely, and that was only the savior for the person. So it's actually gradually getting to something else, and at this point, you would start seeing increase in crime, because when people are hungry, you can't even buy anything, and already there were reports, I think on Monday, that now villages are doing trade by barter in the 21st century, for crying out loud. For me, I think our leaders from the state, both religious, political, should rise up, because the suffering right now is quite unbearable.
At this point in time, would you advise the CBN to go back on its word? Would you advise the CBN to, of course, the CBN governor has stood his grounds, is very resolute on the fact that the deadline is not moving, and the old currency notes are no longer legal tender. Would you think, given the attendant suffering and the destruction now of properties, the CBN should go back on its word? Do you think, or we should stand firm and see this to finish?
Well, for me, when we talk about the CBN, let's not forget that in all of this, the president, talking about Muhammadu Buhari, has actually a very clear stand on this particular issue. We saw the video. We had an interview with the Premium Times, and he said clearly that this decision, for me, you could see that is actually his own doing. He just wanted to do it. But looking at the situation, the minting, people responsible for printing this owner have said that, they can't cope with the demand. And now the CBN is actually in a dilemma. Should we go outside to print this money for us to have enough in circulation? What should we do? some people are actually just suggesting that, while trying to mop up, the old naira notes, we should allow it until we are sure that we can gradually, have enough circulation of the new naira note. So for me, it's a little bit dilemma, but I feel that as the government, which, their primary function is to ensure that they allow, things to go on well properly, should be able to understand better. Because it's gradually getting hard. Okay, since we don't have enough of the new naira notes, why can't we, for the interim, allow the old naira note to be, used as legal tender, probably until we are able to find a way around it. But the also sad, part through this story is that some of our political elites have actually mopped up the new naira note. So where do we go from here? It's a very sad situation. And right now, it's not even about the fuel, situation. Fuel is also a big crisis, and for months now, no one is talking about anything. We only heard that, the subsidy will be removed by June. So it's a whole lot of confusion here and there, and we hope that something should be done drastically, because as the protests have started in 3 states, we don't know gradually what will happen, which other state might pick up, and how deadly. Let's not forget, yes, let's not forget, we don't have enough security personnel that would be able to contend this, and the election is by the corner. So it's a whole lot, and I hope this is the time for everyone, especially our leaders, both political elites, religious, traditional rulers, to rise up and call our leaders, to do the right thing, because the suffering is quite unbearable.
Now, you spoke about the president, and you spoke about the fact that his position as it concerns the redesign naira notes and, of course, the currency swapping. That's a good one. Now, does this mean that the president is insensitive to the plight of the people? Does it mean that he does not understand the attendant consequences of what, he's backing the Mefiele on? Yes, like I've always maintained, it's a good policy.
Yeah.
But is the central bank governor going about the implementation the right way? That has been my question. Awesome policy, but are they going about implementation the right way? And is the president not feeling the pulses of the people? See what's happening today?
Yeah.
Destructions here and there. A lot of things we never thought would happen already happening.
Yeah.
Just 9 days to an election.
Yes, it's gradually gearing up, because some states, some of banks have been destroyed because of the kind of glasses they use. Some have been destroyed. But you talked about the CBN or the president being sensitive enough. Sometimes I feel that people should be a little bit sympathetic with our leaders. In clay terms, because the people that works around them most times do not, for their selfish interests, tell these leaders the truth.
I'm suggesting that they sometimes sabotage the effort.
They do that a lot. They know that if you are coming to tell the truth, someone's job might be at risk. So they try as much as they can to garnish the image. Let's not forget, when this policy came up, Nigerians were told that it's as easy as walking to the bank, deposit your old notes, and get new ones. But that was not the case. Gradually, we now realize that, the new notes were not even enough. And we are hearing stories of people, even buying the new notes. And of recent, we just started seeing videos surfacing online of people using CBN wrapped, currency, throwing at parties. So these are issues. But I feel that, Nigerians and leaders should actually start speaking the truth.
Okay.
The president is in Imo. I don't know if he has actually left, because he came. Yes, But prior to that, the CBN governor was meeting with him. What type of discussion? After meeting with the president, they're not talking to the media.
Let me hold your thoughts, Jimmy. We'll go on a commercial break one more time. When we return, we'll go straight to Abuja, where the Speaker of the House has said that the crisis created by around the currency swap policy of the CBN was aimed at stopping the flag bearer of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Don't go away. Father 3.1 FM Calabar, People's Radio.
I greet my papa and mama in this state. The Lord Almighty be with you all. Me where they greet you. Now me be Olobi Tutu means cold water. As we know, say water no get enemy. Not only me come, I come with my son. So that woman go answer woman, man go answer man. 50% discount there for all our herbal products. We come from Yoruba land, Ilora Ekiti local government in Ekiti state.
Yes, hello guys. We're just taking a quick break for adverts.
I hope that you know
No,
video.
no, no. Yeah, we're taking a quick break for adverts. We'll be right back. Yes, this is Hardlines on Fat 3.1 FM, Calabar. Yes, right back. Just keep it on. Yeah, I'm seeing you, Popsy. Thanks for joining. A pop, a Bossman. Is it possible for every state to print money? What are the functions of the CBN? Nah. The rules, the law does not allow that.
Something they print like pikin in your belle, it go be like so. It go dey move like pikin. Some never reach for monthly thing to stop, and it don stop. You be there, you never marry. The two thing wey dey your chest, if you press it, water dey come out like say you dey breastfeed. All this thing no good. I don pack plenty fruit and herbs come from Ekiti state. The one I cook, the one I fry, for any type of problem, and to flush all the yamayama thing wey dey your body. My power of God go come out. You be man, something dey move like worm for inside your body, or e dey bite you like mosquito. All this thing no good. Back pain, stomach noises, the two thing wey dey your down body, one big pass one. This one no good at all. E dey worry man well well. You no dey fit to do well with your wife. The water for your body, e dey small or e dey light. My people at home, not only infertility problem I dey treat you. If you get body rashes, your hand and leg, e dey do like e don die. Too much of fat, e dey make body swell up and leg. Pain go dey draw you. You no dey breathe well. All this thing no good. If you notice that you dey piss 5 to 6 times in the night, you no dey fit sleep in the night. You dey waka small, you dey tired. Come and see us at Shop 22, Profile Shopping Complex, opposite Stadium, Calabar. My DSM number is 08028947762 or 07039482903. Over to you, my son.
I greet you, my listener, too. As you have heard from my mother, you people that you have been feeling some symptoms in your system, maybe you cannot be able to move very well. You should be tired. You can move long distance before. If you move short distance now, you be tired. All the everything that you can carry before, if you carry small thing now, you be tired. You will be feeling some waste that will stiff you. We have all this modern machine. We have analyzing machine. We have detoxifying machine. We have massaging machine and some other machine that when you come to us, we use to diagnose you. You'll be able to boost the treatment that we give you. The analyzing machine will be able to discover all those things that is worrying you in your system, everything that is happening in your body before we now apply any treatment for you. And you that you cannot move very well, maybe due to the cholesterol that has blocked your vein. When you come to us, after we have been giving you treatment, we can use massaging machine for you to be able to open up the nerves, all the cholesterol inside the nerve that will be able to open up, you'll be able to move freely. And then the transfer machine, those one will remove all the toxin that is in the system so that you'll be able to be free. All the fat in the system, everything will reduce. We are at opposite stadium, shop 22, Rural Shopping Complex, opposite stadium, Calabar. Our phone number once again is 08028947762 or 07039482903.
Thank you as you dey lis ten to us. So may God Almighty be with you all.
Ready? Welcome back, everybody. Just before I hand you the telephone lines this evening, let's talk about the position of the APC and the way Nigerians are currently perceiving the APC as we move into the elections in about 9 days. Already, the governor of Osun State, actually, one of those governors in the West, actually, I think I'm going to remember his name, had said that the current handling of this Naira policy is demarketing the APC before Nigerians. It is portraying the APC in a negative light before Nigerians. Before we talk about what the speaker said, what do you think about the governor?
Well, for me, the governor is just trying to reiterate what the APC presidential candidate said, that the people, handling the naira redesign and also the fuel scarcity we are experiencing, is actually trying to thwart his effort. And after the backlash, they now came out, and now we are even seeing the president actually going with the APC candidates to actually campaign in states. But again, for me, I think that's just a political statement, because if you look at the naira redesign, for me, it's actually a good one. And looking at the policy,
I think the policy is what he spoke about.
yes, the policy, and I think for him,
the ratings of the APC.
no, I don't think so. For politicians, definitely right now, it will be very difficult for them to even buy votes. That's the line they are going, because over time in Nigeria, right from 1999, Nigerian politics has always been vote buying.
They can make transfers to the next.
How will you make it? Because they will make transfers, no doubt. But come on, that you'll be monitored. For every amount, because you are using it. This account linked with the BVN, and this BVN has honor. So it will be very difficult and dicey for them, and that's why there are reports, unconfirmed report, that some of these politicians have actually mop up the new note, and that's why we are talking about the scarcity. And the DSS over time has actually come out to say that they have made some arrests. Just yesterday they said they are going to go over POS operators overcharging. Yes, well. and all of that. No, the DSS came to Calabar and arrested some people.
I them to somewhere.
They arrested people in Calabar,
them to somewhere.
And it was actually banks. I saw them. And all of that. But they are not coming out to announce or mention names, because until you make an example of someone, others would not, change.
Well, the governor I was trying to crack my head around is the governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu.
Yeah.
He said that the current situation has made the ratings of the APC drop in the eyes of Nigerians, and I think I agree with him. Let's move away from that now to the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
Now, the Speaker has said that this current crisis created around the cash swap policy of the CBN is aimed at stopping the Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the ruling All Progressives Congress from winning the February 25 presidential election. So I don't know why he would think that this was a direct target on their presidential flag, but I mean, there are a lot of them, 18 presidential candidates. Why does he think it's about the APC? Well, this is the full gist now.
Yeah.
The Speaker spoke in Lagos yesterday during the launching of the second phase of an initiative called Baja Ride, designed to empower his Surulere constituent. He said that the fuel crisis and the lingering scarcity of naira notes were carefully contrived by some elements to achieve political motive. But he said that the House of Reps was working hard to rescue citizens from the current hardships towards bringing relief as soon as possible. He went to say, and I quote, "As a representative and speaker, I have a good understanding of the current hardships and discomforts being faced by many Nigerians without exception to my constituents. The lower legislative chamber under my leadership has been on the side of the people, working tirelessly to rescue them from these difficulties. I am glad that the judiciary has also confirmed our position on implementation of the policy of Naira redesign." He said the Naira swap policy was a well sought out policy which had unfortunately been hijacked and politicized. He went further to say that the plot seemed to be failing as Nigerians were still keeping faith with the APC and Tinubu in spite of what they were going through. He went on to convince Nigerians and urge them to vote for the APC. My question, just one question.
Yeah.
Why does every APC stalwart think that this particular policy is to stop the APC flag bearer, presidential flag bearer, from winning elections?
Well, I don't think, Bob, that this statement is actually, yes, because the APC are actually feeling the heat, of this party. No, I'm coming. Yes, I'm coming.
Every Nigerian.
Yes, every Nigerian.
Will go to the same market.
Yes, they will, but
buy the same roads.
I understand.
The same filling stations.
But the APC currently are the government in power.
Let me interrupt you one more time.
Okay.
I'll pay some bills. I'm back in a second.
I greet my papa and mama in this.
Hey, my name is Alex. I've been a content creator for a while now, and I always try to innovate to keep my audience entertained and engaged.
Make I play Glow jingle.
Now they play for now.
No, after this one, I'm MTN. Make I play another Glow jingle.
What time?
Now, immediately after.
You know they killed you.
You know they kill, madam just send us. You know they play.
Without ever having to leave my room, I can shoot a movie without being on set. Now that's a godsend. With all the money I've spent on cabs this year, if there's one thing 5G has done right, I would say it's made it easier for me to do me. With MTN 5G, it offers hyper-fast internet speed, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality data capabilities. No Bluetooth. MTN 5G, now available on iPhone. MTN, what are we doing today? You're locked right here on your favorite station. Fag 93.1 Radio. My people, we bring to you here and now the Glow Festival of Joy Promo. It's a life-changing prize galore from now. A stadium full of diva prices to be won. 20 brand new houses, 24 brand new cars, 100 generators, 200 sewing machines, 1,000 rechargeable fans, and thousands upon thousands of other unbelievable prizes. Just dial *611# to enter and win in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Buy up to 20,000 naira data during the promo period and you could win a house. And if you recharge or load data from 500 naira to 10,000 naira monthly, weekly, or daily, you stand a chance to win a brand new car plus other great prizes. Don't just sit around scratching your chin. Dial *611# now to enter and win. Promo runs from October 2022 to January 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Unlimited.
Welcome back, everybody. Hardlines on 493.1 FM Calabar. Bob the Fresh Talker, originally called Fidelis Obana. So, Jimmy, you're trying to make a point about why you think the APC
Yes.
has the right
No,
to
it's
complain.
yes.
about
No. I'm saying that every politician at this point in time, is actually complaining, but the APC are actually feeling the heat the more
Why?
because they're actually the government in power. You understand? And
Shouldn't that even make the speaker a bit quiet about this? Because
no,
I mean,
no.
his government is behind this policy.
That's the point. So now they are feeling that there are some certain set of people who are actually not happy with the party, who is trying to use this crisis to actually demarket the party. For the other parties, why are they not making noise? Are they not feeling the heat? Are they not actually going to do the same thing the other parties are doing? Yes, because when they are going to talk to their electorate, they will tell them, oh, if you vote us in, we would alleviate the suffering. So they're actually not coming out to actually criticize, even though it's actually affecting them, especially going to the polls, because in Nigerian politics, you cannot and you would never rule out money. Maybe subsequently,
Okay.
but right now, money plays a very critical
So are
part.
you saying that, are you suggesting that the APC somehow had mopped up a lot of money to perpetuate evil, if I must use the word, or buy vote? And because the Naira has been redesigned and there's a swapping policy in place, it's already affecting them badly, and that's why they're crying out.
No,
is that what you're suggesting?
no. I'm not suggesting that
Because
the
you say
APC.
you
No.
Because you say
Yeah,
you can't leave
no.
money out of.
Yes,
I
we
agree.
can't.
But why are the other parties not making
Because they are not the government in power. That's
it?
why.
So the government in power
Yes.
has more money to throw around.
No, the government in power is feeling the heat because
Because?
they understand that other parties would actually use that against them. That's why they're actually coming out.
One more commercial,
say
gentlemen. We're
that.
back in a second. Are you putting in front of you? Joseph. Joe, can see your cup. I can't take it now. Joseph. Welcome back, everybody. We're about to cross, but before we do that, Jimmy, concluding statement on that.
Yeah. First off, I'm trying to say that it's not really that other parties are actually not feeling it. The only problem is that the APC actually at the receiving end. Now, when this redesigned new policy came on board, all the political parties kicked against it. When we had to talk about the daily withdrawal limit, for individuals and corporate accounts, all parties, PDP, APC, Labour,
Okay.
everybody kicked against it. And when they gave out, their expenses, what they need, then you now understand that Nigerian politics is all about
let's
money.
cross over now. 0703018893. First caller, Joseph.
Hello, good evening.
Joseph, it's good to have you join us tonight. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I want to disagree with your analysis to saying all the political parties are against me, but they kept quiet. Don't forget, Peter Obi, the man listening so far, came out to tell Nigeria that the policy shifted by the CPN was that Nigerians should have patience with the policy. Am I right?
Of course.
And Atiku also did that.
Hold on. Go on ahead, Joe.
The issue of Atiku for me, I just playing to the gallery.
But he did that. So let's get that straight.
Before now, the cashless policy is a very good policy. It's a very good policy. And I don't think the only problem I have is that the monies are not going around. But believe me, that policy given by the CBN is one of the, in fact, the gentleman wouldn't have not have done anything, but you see that one, I give it to him. And but why is he coming out to complain now? When students were on strike,
He did a lot. He did a lot. No, he did a lot. He did a lot. He mediated between the federal government and ASU. Please get your facts right. He did it.
my brother,
All right.
my brother, if not for the fact that you are telling me to get my fact right, if not for the fact that Nigeria came out to eat him, when he posted pictures when he went to Harvard, that was when he came out. Did he speak out?
No, he did. He did.
At least,
No.
guys, you don't raise your voice. At least he spoke out. Whether he spoke out before or after he was accused or slammed by Nigerians, he spoke out.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Joseph, for calling. Thank you very
No.
much. Joseph.
Please let me correct that impression.
Hold on. Maybe you do that at the end of the show. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. He did, and I agree. He did his.
Wait, no, I want to correct that.
Good evening. Welcome to FAD.
Good evening, everybody in the studio.
Good evening.
It's great to Calabar.
Cletus, talk to us.
Please, I want to ask a little question. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go on ahead.
The CBN policy
Yeah.
is a nice one. It's a good one. But I want to ask this question. If God will make you elect, was supposed to be this person that win primary in APC. Would this still take place? Will this CBN policy take place?
Mm.
Please, I need an answer to this question. Because I don't really understand. Maybe they are APC, but they have their own different Calabar. It did not favor him. Or what he's doing is it in his favor or the favor of the Nigerians. I know it's a good thing, but what he went and spent 100 million buying ticket and the rest. At the end of the day, he went to that company office, they give him the office, and he did what he's doing. All in the name of he did not win the primary. What if it was the one that was the winner of this primary? Will he do this thing, or will another person do this thing? Or will he favor him? Thank you for having me.
Well, that's a $1 million question there, which unfortunately I cannot give you an answer to. Maybe Jimmy will try at the end of the day.
No. Nobody's disputing the policy. Nobody's disputing the policy.
Welcome back. Who's there? Okay, talk to me, bro. Thanks for calling. The policy has come to stay. Nigerians will eventually adjust. I know that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I know after elections, things will definitely change. So in a couple of days, you know, all of this will be over. Trust me.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked to see the new notes all over, probably on the street.
No,
After
no.
elections.
Well, I think for me,
it's
Calabar is
possible.
trying. Calabar is trying. Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you mean by trying.
No, at least at least I've seen the new notes
Have
compared to
you
what I
suffered-
saw in
Have you
Uyo.
suffered in the past 2 days? Have you tried to get 10,000 in the past 2 days?
It depends on where you want to
Have
get
you
the money
suffered
from.
enough?
No, it depends on where.
You've not suffered. You have no idea what's going on. Okay, who's there? Good evening. Welcome to Hardlines. Hello? Good evening. Who's there? Jayo, it's good to have you, General Jayo. Talk to me. Hey, oh, join. Talk to me, bro. Well, Jayo, your suggestions are noted. Thank you so very much indeed. Okay. Thanks a lot, Jayo, for your contributions tonight on the show. Well, I think Joseph is not in Calabar. If he were, he would have been here a long time ago. Trust me, he's one man I love to have conversations with. Okay, 0703018893. We'll take one more call and then we're done for tonight. Who's there? Good evening. Welcome to Hotlines. Dropped that one. Okay, call me back if that was your next talk to you right now. 0703018893. Last call tonight. Joseph, that's you again.
Hello.
Joseph,
Hello. Yes, can you hear me?
loud and clear.
After July 26th, Femi Gbajabiamila was in Harvard, and Nigeria came out to bash him. Now, after October 20th, that was when they started negotiation. So what is he saying? But it was when Nigerians came out to bash him, that was when he came out to speak on the ASU strike. Now, secondly, on the issue of the presidential candidate of the APC, already it is a well-known fact. They came out to speak on the fact that Gandhi has spent so much money, for food buying. Automatically, what Buhari is doing is reiterating his plans to allow Nigeria going to the election. He wants to give Nigeria free and fair election. So let it be that every candidate is going fair and square, and then let us see how it is going to look like.
All right.
Before now, if it does not affect them, if the naira policy does not affect them, they will never come out to speak. Look at even the likes of El-Rufai, and even the people that were killed in the back of his house. Has he ever come out to say anything about it? People were buried. He never said anything. But he is going to court today.
Thank you very much indeed, Joseph. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your thought tonight. 5 minutes before 7, we'll have to go right now, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But we have one more commercial. So before that commercial comes through, let's have your parting word.
Yeah, quickly to react to Joseph and on that Bajamila issue. Yes, he was bashed on social media when he posted his Harvard picture. But Joseph, please go back and look at his reaction while apologizing to Nigerians and look at the step he had taken to ensure that he resolved this lingering crisis. Then that's when you understand. I respect your opinion. Thank you for contribution.
What Joseph meant
yes,
was
I
that
understand.
He did not react until he was called out.
Yes, he was called. No, yes,
so maybe Joseph expected that the speaker would react before even going to Harvard.
Yes.
But
yes. But when he had apologized, then he had written out his what he had done prior to that picture, to salvage the situation. So thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it a lot. And my parting words is that please go out and vote and ensure that your PVC is served. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Don't forget, talking is cheap, but voting is free. In 9 days, we'll elect our new president and new National House of Assembly members. Do want to be part of that one, because trust me, no sit down for fans, no sit down look. It's a very critical election, very historic, and the most anticipated elections in the history of our country. Be a part of it. Tell your children stories that, hey, I was part of these elections that brought a man that salvaged Nigeria. I was part of it. I'll see you all tomorrow after our show tonight. Have a great night ahead. Good night and God bless you.
All right, thank you guys. Yes, that was Hardline right here on 593.1 FM. Guys, see you on Friday. Bye.